America's News Now. Government watchdog groups searching for what lies deep within the 2,700-page, $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill and wondering if lawmakers who voted for it did the same. Joining us now to discuss, founder and CEO of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski. Adam, great to see you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Jan. We've actually been reading that bill, and tucked inside that bill, we found a provision that sounds really great. Government to bring broadband to rural areas, underserved areas. It sounds great, but the fine print, the devil's always in the details. So we found that $42.5 billion of that is government ownership of the internet. And Jan, why would you ever contract the government to give them the keys so they could actually snoop on your private business to see everything that you do on the internet of everything, and government would own all your data?
What? So I don't understand this. So $42.5 billion was allocated for government-owned internet?
It sounds simply Soviet. Yes, the government would own the access point. So think about this. It's not good enough that over the last number of years, big tech has canceled people. Government, with $42 billion, they want to own the pipe, Jan. They want to own your access point to the internet. And you can only think of all the problems that can come out of that.
Right. Well, that right there is very alarming. But government-owned networks, they could argue, you know what, they need additional broadband. So tell me what your research showed. How much funding have these networks actually received over the years? This is not something new, evidently.
Well, it's not new. Most of the investment has been done by private companies. Think about your cable provider or your telco, your local telephone company. They've invested in this. The investments are up 71% during that period. They could probably do a little bit more. Where government has owned the internet, like down in Kentucky, it's been a big government-owned boondoggle. The Kentucky project was to bring internet to an underserved area about 3,000 miles long. It was forecast to cost $350 million, cost quadrupled to $1.5 billion. Service was slow. The project was plagued with corruption, and that's what you get when government owns the pipe.
Okay, and in the past, President Joe Biden has proposed expanding broadcast and internet usage. So how much is he looking to spend at this point?
Well, the Biden administration issued a memo last spring, and in the memo, they gave guidance, and it was $100 billion to bring broadband to these underserved areas. And we know they're serious about government ownership of the internet because the Biden administration actually has 570 White House employees. And the number 2 most highly compensated employee at the White House is actually Joe Biden's broadband czar.
All right, switching gears, we like to do the waste of the week, and the waste of the week for you is a study out of the University of California, Davis, that studied terms when we talk about fish. Can you explain this for me, please?
You had 4 government researchers. Look, it's back to college. We're all interested in what our children are going to learn in the classroom, what they're being taught at our public universities. And you got four government researchers at the University of California, Oklahoma, and at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And they issued a study. And they actually say that fish names are racist. If you call carp or suckers rough fish, that's racist, because those are terms that have been conferred by white males. White males have dominated fisheries, and they've prioritized fish like walleye, northern pike, muskies, bass, and that cute little bluegill over these carp and suckers. So these government highly compensated 6-figure government researchers have issued this paper. And Jan, look, I think it's fishy.
Well, hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on this. Wow. All right, Adam, always great to see you. Happy Friday.